It is. I could have picked a lot more metal of an intro song to play for that. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to a special episode of the White's Metal Podcast. We have special guests, Hatebreed's Jamey Jasta is joining again to promote Milwaukee Metalfest coming up, third year in a row. Yeah, how you doing, man?
Shit, I'm
There
losing
might be
you.
a
You got me now?
yeah that yeah. There's a lag there, but I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm already fucking up the show.
It's all good. We'll try to balance as we can. But yeah, how you doing, man? Ah, shit. It seemed, and we lost him. He saw my patches on his jacket and was like, "I'm not talking to this poser. I gotta get out of here." As you can tell, it seems like Jamey might be having some connection issues. If he joins on again, hopefully he will. That would be hilarious if he did that on purpose. It's just, I'm trying to figure it out right now. I don't know. What is up, Extreme Reviews? I'm doing pretty well. We got a missing Jasta all of a sudden. If you saw, he was on here for a second, and then connection happened. I'm trying to check my emails and shit and see what's happening. Nice interview, dude. Thank you. Yeah, this was the you suffer version of an interview. I mean, we're seeing what happens. You know what's crazy is that my mic was giving me issues right before jumping on here, and I was about to message him and be like, "Hey, bro, something's happening," uh, and I was stressing out. But then I got it to work, and then this happened. Shit. I can pull up the lineup. I did have it open. Where'd it go? Well, this was actually just a grift. Jamey's not actually here. I just wanted to trick people into clickbaiting on the video. Hang on, no, he still ain't bad yet. Shit. Well, da-da-da-da. Milwaukee Metal Fest is what we hopefully will be talking about on this episode. Yeah. If not, shit, I don't know. I was gonna ask him about the Stormtroopers of Death tribute too. Now this is good marketing. I don't know, man. I'm back here sending emails and shit, trying to figure something out. Where's Rocket? We'll pull him up instead. So, anyways, yeah. We got Scour on the lineup. That's one of the main bands I'd want to check out. We're definitely gonna see Jamie's arm pop up like buzzes in Toy Stories. Hey, everybody! Damn. Well, I don't know. Stressed out to get my microphone to work for nothing. Well, I'm gonna ramble a little bit while we're waiting. um, I like this last day over here. We got Guar, Arch Enemy, Scour. Ending with Guar, I think is pretty great. That ballroom is gonna be pretty trashed. Uh, so what's everyone been up to since Wednesday? A lot going on. I feel like there was something metal to talk about, but this is an exclusive, hopefully, to be episode. Maybe if I just stream for long enough, he'll pop up eventually. Just play Doom while we're waiting. um, yeah. So, in my opinion, I think Milwaukee Metalfest is actually one of the best U.S. metal festivals at the moment, and I'm not just saying that because Jamie's trying to be here. Um, it's if you haven't watched my videos on it before, it's a fantastic size. It's got three. It's basically one building that has three different venues, and one is like the smallest, a tiny little bar club, and then a decent sized club, and then an actual main room, theater, auditorium, if you want to call it. And it's a great festival because if it's raining, which it might be in Milwaukee, um, you can jump between the stages really easily. I always like to say at this festival, it can be either as relaxing or as exhausting as you want it to be, depending on how crazy you happen to go. I recommend it. And price well too. I think last year at least the t-shirts were like $25. Like I haven't seen a $25 t-shirt in years. Damn. Well, now you get to see a little behind the scenes stuff. Um, maybe we can pressure Devin into playing strapping. Probably not, but still a fantastic set. The lineup is actually really sick. There's it's like solid hitters on top, like well-known Exodus, and then we got Demolition Hammer. Everyone was talking about them last video. Pentagram. Ah, I want to joke about everyone in the front of the stage just is S.O.D ever gonna be S.O.D or not? All members are coming. Charlie's pretty busy. Pantera. I don't know. I'll have to ask him if he comes back. Shit. As I said before, the Scour album that just came out, I give it 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. High up. I loved it. I didn't know Phil could do that shit. The whole album all the way through is solid death and black metal. We got Rotting Christ. Frozen Soul should just be here every year. Exorder, fuck yeah, Necrot, Evil Dead. I like there was a band name down here I'd never heard of. There's a band playing called Jarhead Fertilizer, and I was like, damn. That's a hell of a name. Creative, I like it. Yes, for the band Scour, that is Phil Anselmo doing all those blackened death metal, super fucking good vocals. I was very impressed. I did not know he did that until I saw one of their latest videos. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, He'll be a busy man at this festival. He is. Like, last year he played. Oh, he's playing again in S.O.D, but last year, like, Hatebreed played, and then he's running around doing interviews and everything. It's a lot of work. You don't organize the festival and then just sit there and watch all the bands and, like, chill. It's test your endurance. A funny thing about Milwaukee Metalfest last year when I went, the day after the festival, pretty much everybody left, but I still had another day or two just kicking it in Milwaukee. And there's the Ambassador Hotel, which is this old, like, 60s looking hotel. It's where Dahmer killed one of his people. And it was storming rain, like, you know, East Coast, Mid Coast, whatever rain. And I went in this Ambassador Hotel, and it really felt like I was in BioShock because it's playing like old-timey music. It looks like one of the buildings. It's storming rain outside. And I was like, this is pretty cool. Oh, for my comment meant Phil, but Jamey is just as busy, plus finding new bases for Hatebreed. Yeah, Phil's playing twice with Down and Scour. Yeah. So he'll be kicking it there. Anyone in the chat planning on going to Milwaukee Metalfest? It's also quite easy to get to, thankfully. Like, you can go there and stay at an Airbnb across the street. You're not stuck out in the middle of nowhere. What is a Milwaukee? Milwaukee is Elgotten for the good land. That's how everyone knows it. Everyone in Milwaukee knows that and the Blues Brothers, which surprised me when I went there. Every single, like, dive bar has Blues Brothers stuff, and that is, like, my favorite movie, so... Xander says, I saw Carpathian Forest last night. Pretty fun. That is a band I've never gotten to see, but I definitely would. I should pull up that, was it the Ashley Simpsons clip on SNL when she started, like, dancing off the stage? Shit. Damn, I would have felt bad for canceling, but it looks like it would have worked out. What happened? Oh. Anyway. I got an email just now saying he needs 10 minutes if that's okay. Can we stall for 10 minutes? Yes, we can. Yes, we can, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we'll try that out. In the meantime, let's, where's my shit? If he needs 10 minutes, then fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Right. Fucking thing sucks!
Let's see. Let Rocket bite things for 10 minutes, like my hand. He's asleep. Of course he's asleep. He heard me talking. And he went away. All day he wants to cuddle in my face until I turn on the intro, and then he goes to bed. Speaking of intros, since we've got time, all of that didn't happen just now. Enjoy my normal intro. Go to the bathroom or something.
How do you do? It would be a little unkind to present this picture without just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to Well, we've warned you.
That worked out great. I got to play my intro and everything. He's back. How you doing, man?
Is this better? Much better connection.
It seems like it now. Yeah. Before we weren't sure what happened. I was joking that would have been funny if you did that intentionally.
Have you been live this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh my god, sorry about that. Yeah, my internet is shot. It's like one of those days where it rains, it pours, or everything goes wrong.
Oh, no, I feel you, dude. No, I was saying right before you came on before, my mic was bugging out and I was stressing out. But we're here. It all worked out. Thanks for joining, man. I'm glad this could work out. People are excited and tuned in. How are you feeling about the upcoming Milwaukee Metalfest?
Feeling good. Yeah, really excited. Want to get everybody out there. So if you haven't made your plans yet, or if you're still undecided, I'm getting people hitting me up every day. Like, I was going to go to Rockville. Now I'm coming to Milwaukee. So we're winning some people over. It's a crowded space out there.
I'm sure
but it's good for metal. It's good for heavy music in general. And like this week we had our biggest sales and we're ahead of the last 2 years. So I'm hoping we stay on that path, that positive path. And we're right about to announce some other bands too, some locals and some bands like people should know, because it's all about hopefully creating the headliners of tomorrow. We'll
Yeah,
see.
that's what I was saying. That's what I like about this festival is that you got like OGs that are really respected. You got Exodus, you got Down and Everybody, and then you still got newcomers like I like seeing Frozen Soul on there, and then a bunch of the other bands. It's a really good spot. I was telling the people watching, the venue is just so perfect to where you can just pop in and out of sets to catch new things.
Yeah, now we got AC. And we have new PA systems. Yeah. So, this was the original complaint of like, why is this going on in May when there's Sonic Temple and Welcome to Rockville and other festivals? And I was like, you don't want us to do this in June or July without AC, because it's like, it was always forced air in there. And I played there over the summer. Like I played there upstairs with Slayer, upstairs with Slipknot, and other big shows, and it is boiling. So now that we got AC, who knows? Maybe next year we will move it into June, or maybe even move it into July, so that we're not having people kind of split their paycheck or choose one or the other. Like I never knew that was a thing, at least not recently. I always felt like when I was a kid, I would drive to a lot of shows and travel pretty far. I even went out to Wisconsin for Milwaukee Metalfest.
Nice.
But I never knew of other shows happening at the same time as the shows that I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing now, right? Like if you live in New York or LA or Montreal or even places like Nashville or other big cities, Chicago, there's like 5 shows in the same genre in the same night now.
Yeah, that's what it is for me in LA. It's like every night is every band's gonna come here. So it almost gets like an overabundance where you're like, shit, it's hard to keep track of at times.
Yeah, I watched a video about a rap show that was going on at the Wiltern, a show that would sell out here in a heartbeat. Like it would sell out either maybe not the College Street Music Hall, which I think is like 2,800 cap, but it would sell out like 1,000 cap or an 1,100 cap. And the show did like 200 people at the Wiltern. And damn. I watched a whole video on YouTube about it. And the artists were on fire. Everything was great. It was just, there's so many shows that same night. And it's harder to reach the fans of certain subgenres. Like that used to be a big thing. I don't know if you ever saw that on social media, but that would be a big thing. Like we would see with Hatebreed all the time where it was like, oh, when are you coming to Omaha? We were literally in Omaha the night before.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
We thought people were trolling us, but it wasn't. It was just the fact that, these companies, they don't necessarily geo-target their posts. And now, bands and festivals are having to start their own email lists and really pump the stuff out on social media and really try to get as much reach as possible. But yeah, I'm excited. Look, Rob Dukes is back with Exodus. That's going to be really fun.
I'm stoked for that.
Down is really not playing many shows this year, and neither is Black Label Society, and neither is Devin Townsend. He has a short run.
Yeah.
But if you're into the super heavy, crazy, darker stuff, we have Enslaved, we got Paradise Lost, we got we got Wolves in the Throne Room coming. We have a serious eclectic mix of all the different heavy music subgenres.
Yeah, I was just praising Scour. I actually didn't know of them until their latest album came out. I was like, I didn't know Phil could do that. Holy shit. So that's a impressive one for me on there.
Yeah, and it's perfect timing with a great new release. I was really happy that we were able to book that, because they're another one that's not going to be really doing a lot of shows. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have Amigo the Devil playing the same day.
Yeah. And
Arch Enemy and Guar. And Guar's got a special surprise for everybody that they're not going to want to miss for the 40th anniversary.
Oh shit.
And although some people said, oh, Amigo the Devil is not metal, well, read the lyrics. The lyrics are metal. So, he's honorary metal to me.
He's honorary. That's a good way to put it. He is one of those acts where he appears on plenty of like rock and metal festivals and is pretty well received there.
for sure. The whole place is singing. We toured Hatebreed, Amigo the Devil, Dropkick Murphys. People said we were crazy. Actually, it was Hatebreed, Clutch, Dropkick Murphys, Amigo the Devil, and it was such a good time.
That's cool. Yeah, I would enjoy that.
It was a very eclectic mix. But also on the Sunday, you know, we have Trouble and Exhorder playing. So that's, if you're a fan of Trouble and or Exhorder, you know, you're witnessing two big parts of the festival's history. And Kyle Thomas is pulling double duty that day. So that's going to be awesome. And then that day's, if you're into like the harder, you know, edge stuff, like the harder core stuff, the Acacia Strain, Speed, Full of Hell, Arm's Way. I mean, this shit is it's jammed on the Sunday. But did you stay all 3 days, and did you come for the pre-party too?
Yeah. Last year I went for all of the days.
Right on. So, really sweet. So for the pre-party, we got Flotsam to headline.
Yeah, that was sick. Or that's sick to see. I loved last time at the pre-party. Actually, I was in the photo pit area, and then when you came running up, I got it on video. Though you whipped the cord and it like hit like the side of my face a little bit. It was funny as hell. I was laughing.
Didn't you have two incidences of this? Like, didn't you get buzzed by the Testament CO2 as well? I
was gonna ask if you knew about that because I forgot about it, and then I pulled up the video just to remember the whole event, and I watched. I was like, "Holy shit!" I have to ask if Jamey saw that.
Yeah, that was classic. Did you get the phone back?
Oh yeah, I found it. It only landed like right behind me, but I definitely had a moment of like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, I think maybe not for this year, but for year 4, which we're really close to hitting the threshold where we need to hit. I'm at the point now. I'll tell everybody, if you want to go to like martyrstore.net, or if you want to go to Depop, depop.com/Jasta, I'm literally going to sell everything I own to secure year 4 and secure an international act that no other festivals have booked in the last 20 years, but they want a deposit. And they want it in cash up front. And I currently don't have it, obviously, because I'm putting out 100 records. I'm in the middle of recording a record, and I'm putting out, you know, I'm putting out all the money for the festival. So it's very lean right now, but I'm so excited at the prospect of being able to do the festival in 2026. And like I said, maybe even push it into maybe the first week of June, or maybe even into July, if I can secure this one band that I wish I could say who. So if anybody wants to support, if anybody's planning on going to the festival, or maybe can't come this year, but wants to come in 2026, go to depop.com/Jasta. I'm going to put up all my laminates, all my tour posters, my vinyl. I'm going to put up guitars. I'm that crazy, and I'm that dedicated to the festival.
Is there any type of hint?
No, I don't want to give any type of hint, because the last time I did this, another festival stole the one I wanted to headline. So,
damn. All right, that's fair enough.
Yeah, it's very competitive out there. I didn't realize this, but I think, you know, with all the great festivals happening, it's good for everybody. Especially they're spread out, right? Like like my buddy's at Hell's Heroes right now, having the time of his life. And that's a great sign, you know, 4,000 or 5,000 people for, you know, bands that would probably be in the top 4, but not like headlining at other festivals. Right. Yeah. And so it's cool to see that the culture is the draw. The fun is the draw. It's not. And we want to make that happen for Milwaukee, which I thought we, you know, kind of proved with weird off the wall headliners for last year, like Bungle. Like, what did you think? You know, we got a lot of flack for Bungle being the headliner, but what did you think?
I liked Bungle's set, but I think people were also wanted a heavy headliner to end with. Because who played before them?
Testament.
Yeah, I think honestly, maybe if that was switched, maybe people might have been more receptive to it, because Testament totally blew the crowd and my phone away. And Mr. Bungle, I loved the music and it was awesome, but I think a lot of people, since the overall festival has that really kind of old school vibe, maybe wanted that to end with. I enjoyed Mr. Bungle though. I'm not lying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was surprised at how many people stayed and how well it went over. But yeah, but I think Testament, they don't want to go after Mr. Bungle. So what do? It's like I think
Yeah.
I think you're putting Testament in a better position. So then they kind of like become the people's headliner in a way, right?
Yeah. That is a good way to put it. Yeah, it's a pretty strategic planning. And it's good for the old people who want to go home and sleep after Testament.
But, you know, and as much flack as I took for booking Slaughter to Prevail, they sold the most merchandise of the entire fest and probably had the biggest, craziest show. So,
I like them. I was impressed.
You know, and maybe they're not in line with the super, super old fest, but so many bands that we have booked were, you know, bands like Dark Angel, bands like Testament and Overkill. And even to a certain extent, you know, bands like Goat Whore and Obituary and Biohazard, they had all played at the earlier festival too.
Yeah, no, I like Slaughter Prevail's set. I was curious to see them because they've been getting a lot of buzz. I never got the chance to, and I'm not a big deathcore guy, but I feel like they have enough kind of in between and brought the energy enough for. I really enjoyed that set actually.
I was upstairs at the balcony, and I swear I've been up there for, like I said, I've been up there for Slayer, Slipknot, and others. And when they went into that Rammstein song, I was like, "Is the floor gonna cave in?" Like this.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was. I was like, "Damn!" And so, you know how it is with the metal elitists. They would probably thumb their nose at someone covering Rammstein online. You know, but then when you're in the house, everybody's singing it and going crazy. It's like, I thought you guys didn't like this shit. I thought this was too commercial or too, you know.
Like you're saying, you see a clip online, you might be like, snub their nose at, but when it's shaking the building you're in, you're like, all right.
Yeah, like people were in the moment enjoying it. I was like, where are all you fucking metal elitists now?
Yeah, that's always my same thought too. I had a point I was just gonna make to that, and then I completely forgot it.
About Slaughter?
I think so, but damn, I'm fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Oh, I was gonna ask you, because we were just talking while we were waiting for you to get on. What's your actual like sort of schedule like at the festival? Because I'm assuming you're busy as fuck, and you don't get to just like sit around and watch every single band.
Yeah, no, we were, you know, both years I planned on taking a net loss. Right. And so I knew it was going to be tough, especially going against Sonic Temple. But we had big bands like Slaughter and Avatar and In Flames. Like In Flames, absolutely. Like
that was
fantastic. Yeah, it was, the energy was magical, and they had one of those magical sets back in the day at the festival. So it was like they came full circle, and I thought, okay, I need to I started having to cut some staff like 2 weeks out just to save money so that I wouldn't like lose my house. Right. And I was like, you know, scrambling and trying to help organize the meet and greets. And we had a great team. But once I got there, I was like, man, I probably would have enjoyed this more had I kept on more staff or brought in more people. So this year I'm bringing in more people, and I will hopefully enjoy more of the shows. But I did enjoy helping out with all the VIPs and all the merch and all the vendors. And I did get out there and I took a lot of pictures with fans. I went over to Hell's Headbangers booth. I went over to Savvy's booth. Nice. I went out to the food trucks. So I had breaks here and there. But it's like, you know, seriously, when it's your second year back, you're still learning what the protocol is for dealing with each section of the fest. Like the first year we didn't have the water refilling stations. The second year we did. And they had their, you know, parameters that they wanted us to meet. So shout out to Dallas, shout out to Bodette and everybody that helped with the water, and Plastic Free Milwaukee. They were a great partner, and they'll be back this year too. So we'll bring in like more free water. We'll get, you know, we'll get the sponsors to pay for the cup. So everybody that gets a free cup, you know, we'll have a commemorative little
nice
souvenir and things like that. So But yeah, then also I didn't realize how much time it took to, go around and have the artists sign the posters. And, we were like, it was just, yeah, it was very hectic, but great memories and great little moments where I was able to go catch songs. Like I caught one song of Hammerfall and that just proved like everybody online was straight up lying. Like, oh, you don't like power metal? I just watched 2,200 people singing every word of Doro and Hammer.
That was a fun set too.
And for everybody that shit on power metal, this year everybody's complaining there's no power metal.
I was gonna ask if there was any reason for that, or is it just bands were available?
We tried. There just weren't available. Yeah, it was. Okay. We tried. I think we tried for like Halloween and Oregon. I always fuck it up. What is it? Oregon. I always like.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch, and there's a bunch that we will probably secure for 2026 should we hit the threshold. I mean, we're still 7-8 weeks out, so we're looking good. If we keep it up, if anybody watches this and wants to. Make the trip out to Milwaukee. I think it's going to be the best year yet.
I recommend it for sure. I was saying that it is, I think, one of the best festivals in the U.S. because it's a perfect size. It's not too big to where you're out in a field camping and everything, but it has legit headliners like Down, Guar, and everything, but then all the new league too. I was going to comment that, yeah. Last year, my friends I went with, they love all the grimy, brutal death metal. They were one of the people hating on the power metal. But I kept telling them that they need to watch Doro. And when she ended, they came up to me like, dude, we loved her. She was amazing.
Yes. So. Yeah, and that was one that I really fought some of my partners and some of the people behind the scenes about. I said, you have no idea. Like, I was watching clips of Doro absolutely ripping it at Hell's Heroes. And when I saw them book that, I said, that's a great booking. And to me, Texas is always a great metal market. Like, it's a great state for metal. But to me, there's more people in the greater Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota area. There's more of her type of fans. So I was thrilled when I got a little bit of I told you so. Because it was packed, just like it was packed for Autopsy, and then packed for obviously for Obituary in the prior year.
Yeah, I remember In Flames was packed too.
Yeah, and that was one where we did say to them like, hey, do you want to go on the main stage? But they were like, no, let's go on it. And that's like with Exodus, Exodus. And even Overkill, we had Overkill wanted to be on the rave. They didn't want to be in the Eagles, but Overkill was another one. Because we were leaning power metal that first night, it was hard for Symphony X to come out after Overkill. And Camelot brought their own audience.
They were great.
But Overkill definitely, they were kind of like the people's headliner of the Friday.
They definitely were. I remember I was impressed by them and the crowd size and everything. It had been a long time since I saw Overkill, and I remember having that feeling of they feel like the headliner of this one.
Yeah, Blind Guardian was great, and it was such a thrill, and Hansi and their whole team and everybody are so cool. I would love to have them back, maybe for an album play or for an anniversary, or even with another German band. It doesn't even have to be a power metal band. I really thought any of the German, even any of the Teutonic Four would be killer. Whether it was, Creator or Sodom or Destruction. But Destruction, I got to say, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, right? What is it? What is the saying? I'm fucking it up already. But
I always do the George Bush one. It's like, fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, you can't get fooled again.
Yeah, Destruction. I think they're banned. I'm sorry, Schmear.
Oh shit.
After canceling twice, I think we're done.
Damn.
Yeah.
We heard it here.
So who knows? Maybe Sodom for 2026, but or Tankard, or even Heaven Shall Burn. I said to Hansi, you guys, we always play. Hatebreed always plays with Blind Guardian and Heaven Shall Burn in Germany. Why can't we do it in America? There's a lot of Germans living in America that would lose their fucking mind for that.
Oh yeah, I would lose my mind for Heaven Shall Burn. I know I would go crazy for that.
Right on.
I wanted to ask about the S.O.D set.
Yeah, so that we're doing Friday night, Chimera only Midwest show as well. That's going to be really fun. And obviously we'll have some people who are also on the bill come out and for some surprises. I had hit up Danny Lilker. Well, Danny Lilker told me about this Lilker Fest thing that he did in Scandinavia, which looked awesome. It was like he flew over there, a promoter and some bands, I think, put it together, and they did all different things from Danny's career, like Anthrax, Nuclear Assault, and S.O.D. And I think they even play like Brutal Truth songs. And I was like, dude, Lilker Fest, we got to do that. Like, come and play my Thrash Thursday show. Cause I had, I've had two sold out shows, one in January, one in February. And now I have one next week. If anybody wants to come at the Cellar, it's a little venue in Connecticut. And Bobby Blitz came out. Tommy from Prong came out, did some Prong songs. I had Mark from Metal Church come out.
Nice.
And now I have Jason Bittner from Shadows Fall and Overkill coming out this Thursday. And so I wanted Danny on the April show. And then I started, and he's like, well, I want to come to Milwaukee. And I said, all right, great. You could play the pre-party with me and we can do some S.O.D songs. But then I thought, wait a second. Why don't I just hit up Scott and get Scott out there too? And then Scott was like, dude, my son will play drums. He's great. And I'm like, no way. Yeah. Cause his son has come out and played with us.
Oh, cool.
He's come out and played with Hatebreed before. So, yeah, it turned out that we were all available and it's just going to be a lot of fun. And for all the people that are worried, I'm not going to change the lyrics. We'll be extra offensive.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw when we were going over the lineup before, some people were like, "Oh, S.O.D couldn't be around nowadays, or they get canceled." That'll be exciting.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I have other requests, that I want to put in the set, but we'll see. Like, I wanted to do something off Bigger Than the Devil, and we'll see. I'm actually going out to rehearse any day now, so
nice.
I'll post some videos. Actually, I was going to post some videos of Scott and Rev jamming, which are great. It just warms my heart, the father and son jamming together and jamming these songs that are like, close to 40 years old, and the new generation's finding out about them. And there are some people in the new generation that realize it's a joke and they're not butthurt, so that's cool too.
Yeah, especially I think it's probably a decent time to where that type of music could start coming back and people see it more as for the joke and fun that it is.
Yeah, people can't be so PC and uptight, but that goes in waves. I mean, I'm not sure how old you are, but there was definitely a time when I was coming up going to shows where I remember it getting really, really overly politically correct and people, trying to out moralist each other.
Yeah. And
we were like, oh, we got to get away from all that and do our own thing, even if it means, you look like a bad guy.
Yeah,
it is what it is. You got to just, like Earth Crisis. I always said, Earth Crisis, like they would have people protest their shows and shit. Like it was wild. And I say to Carl now, I mean, if some of these people really took Earth Crisis seriously, their lives would be better. Like eat a salad, like it's just like when I see, like, we don't have to get into that.
No, yeah, for sure. But speaking of protests, I remember like the old Mayhem Fest and like Ozfest back in the days. You'd see like the old like Christian protesters out there. And then I do remember being in the Bay Area when like a black metal show started getting canceled for protests of a different area. And I was like, I hate all of this. But I feel like that a lot of the times at festivals it goes away because there's such a crowd of people.
But also, like, I'm sure I remember a couple of those Ozfests because I remember going backstage and I remember they were still out there and in the front. And then I went because the way it was like St. Louis or one of those places where you'd have to drive around from the front and you see everybody protesting out in the front. And then you have to drive around and then you're into the backstage. And then there are all these like little bungalows where everybody's in there. Yeah. And I remember going in there. And Joey, rest in peace, God rest his soul. Joey Jordison was in there, and Marilyn Manson was in there. And the shit that was going down in that dressing room, I was like, "These protesters are right. They're right about you, maniacs." I was like,
like-
there's candles, there's like a pentagram on the floor. I'm like, they're right. Like, they're like, I should break this up now and save everybody, save the youth of America.
The situations like that, I picture the scene from Tropic Thunder where he's running, like, I was wrong. Blow the bridge.
So
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, but you know, whatever. What happens backstage stays backstage. But I think, you know, for Milwaukee Metalfest, we have a little bit of like, there were definitely people that we had somebody quit over, not Possessed, although Possessed fucked up the order of the show. They were like late.
Oh,
Jeff was wasted, right? Like,
yeah.
like that was, they threw the whole schedule off, and I felt bad because I think our stage manager he was like, oh my God, these are legends. Like they practically invented death metal. I can't rush them on stage. And we're like, no, dude, that's not how it goes. Like you're going to fuck it up. They're going to fuck it up for all the other bands. You got to rush them. You got to lean into them. Right. And so that was like the one regret was not going down there and being like, hey guys, what do I got to do? Do I got to plug in your shit? Like,
yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Things got delayed a little bit.
Yeah, and then we were getting then I'm getting roasted online. I'm like, it's not my fault. Fucking Jeff is over here wiling out. And then I saw him. What's crazy about Jeff too is that I saw him at like 1 a.m. in the lobby, and then I go in and I had an early call time, and I wanted to meet with some people back at the venue. And I swear, dude, I maybe got 5 hours of sleep. I woke up, I got some coffee. It's probably 7 o'clock. I'm heading back to 7 a.m. He's still in the same spot in the lobby. I'm like, did you not go to bed?
Still drinking and
I don't know, but I just went around him. I was like, I didn't even have time to talk. I was like, I already said what's up on the way in.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think he hasn't left there. Like, did someone not push him up to his room? Like, what happened? Did they leave him? Like, I was like, this is crazy, but that's that's the type of stuff you're going to see at Milwaukee Metal Fest. And it's part of the lore and the stories and the fun. So like, and there
Death
were
metal legends in a corner.
Yeah. And then at one point I had to go back. I want to say at like 9:30, I had to go back because I left something like my laptop charger or something. And he was still there, but now people were getting up and now they're taking photos with him. Atheist is out there. Death to All is out there. And I'm like, wow, this is like death metal heaven over here. Like if you were a fan, and there were fans out there taking pictures with everybody. I'm like, there was legends just within 100 feet of each other. I'm like, this is incredible. So even that stuff like that, what can you do? It's part of the whole magic of the whole insanity.
Yeah, you get to see some musicians in ways you wouldn't think of, like when they're at shows and everything. But that's cool. Like you were saying, you were up on the balcony for was it Slaughter to Prevail, and like, yeah, it's cool that people could be hanging out there and be like, oh shit, Jamey Jasta's right there to watch a Slaughter. And
yeah, and so many people stopped me and thanked me for bringing Milwaukee Metal Fest, which I really appreciated because, and it just goes to show you can't read the stuff online. You know, I'm looking at the crowd. There's thousands and thousands of people there, and we had a bigger attendance than we did in 2023. So we're growing, which is a good sign. And so even if I lose some money, it's like we're going to get the formula right, and we're going to get it. We're in it for the long haul, and we're going to get it to a point where not only will it be like it's okay if everybody has a good time and there's only one band that goes off time, right? Like that's the point of it. It was like I can't tell you how many people were like, this was the best weekend of my life. Like I had so much fun. So that really made it all worth it.
Oh yeah, and I was even saying in my video, I'm pretty sure I mentioned the delays, but I was like, there's things that like, you know, happen at festivals and it sucks, but like it's kind of expected problem. And then there's things that are like full fuckery or incompetence, but that tends to not be that. So I think we kind of have to have the occasional fuck up so that we can learn from it and then be prepared, especially if you know someone is slightly problematic, right? Like, or like in 2023, or it's like if it's kind of a similar situation with Possessed, where if they're
if they're old school and they're legends and you don't want to be disrespectful. Like COC, I was like, were they drinking whiskey? Are they on mushrooms? Like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm like, they're like, you got to get up there and tell them to wrap it up. Like they're going over. And I'm like, dude, that's Pepper. That's my dude. I love Pep. Like I love Woody and these dudes. And I'm like, I can't go up there and tell them fucking cut it. But they ended up finishing, and that didn't throw us off too bad. But also, if you were at Milwaukee Metalfest and you were seeing an epic COC set where they were allegedly on mushrooms and whiskey, I mean, you'd want to play a little longer.
Yeah. And then it might be even more entertaining if Jamey Jasta came out and was like, yo, wrap it up. People would definitely remember that show.
I did have to go out and tell Tony, like I had the owner of the venue telling me, hey, Tony Foresta, shout out to Tony Foresta, he can't be throwing trash cans. So I did have to go tell Tony, like, hey, no more throwing.
Oh, man. I'm actually, Tony's going to be on here tomorrow, and I was going to bring that up. I love how he just comes out with the trash can, just talks.
Yeah. You know, because in 2023, I think we had like one claim, and even if you get one claim, you know, your insurance is going to go up. So
yeah,
and look, I've been there. I've had to pay. You know, someone that gets a tooth knocked out, someone has to go get stitches, and then then their parents get involved, and then they get an ambulance chaser involved. You know, shout out to the lawyers. I mean,
shout out to the Better Call Sauls of the world.
But yeah, tell Tony I said what's up, and tell him that he should come in July. He should come on the Hatebreed tour.
Oh shit.
Yeah, municipal.
Oh,
should come on the Hatebreed tour.
That would be cool. I'd be down to see that. I saw you guys just went on tour. You had Hatebreed. It was, I think, Carcass Crypta.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a pretty sick lineup. I was stoked that you guys brought Crypta out. I really like that band.
They were great. Unfortunately, they do draw a lot of, I don't want to say stalkers, but they're kind of they all have their issues with stalkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
unfortunately,
there's these accounts that catfish these poor guys. There's like accounts that are faking to be them. And then, so then the guys are showing up thinking that it's like the best day of their life. They're going to meet the love of their life. And it's like, they're just like, so that happened a couple of times, but they were great because they're legit. Like Crypta is legit. And they're just, I can see, like I had heard about all these dudes like falling in love with them and all these dudes becoming obsessed with them. And I can see why, because they're so just charismatic and what's the word? I don't know. Magnanimous. Look that up. Is that a word? Is that legit?
Maybe. Well, we can pretend it is.
Is anybody in the chat? I don't have the chat open. Is anybody in the chat that can can people comment live on this? Like I don't have.
Yeah, there's people in the chat right now. Does anyone know what magnanimous means? But I know what you mean though. They just have that energy where when I've seen them live, you can tell that they're legit and they are really about it. They're excited to be there. You can always spot the difference, I think, between a band that's like been there a lot and maybe might be going through the motions and a band that wants to fucking be there.
Yeah. And also when you're that talented and you can play any other type of music and probably be successful in music that could take you further and make you more money, but you choose to play death metal, respect.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And we got it confirmed. It's also a word.
All right.
Magnanimous is a word.
Because I'll look at somebody and a word will just come to my head and I go, I wonder if that's a legit word and that's a good way to describe them. So yeah, I mean, talented, just really likable, you know, just really fun and just great people and everybody on that tour. Carcass too. Carcass and Harm's Way too. We're taking Carcass out again. We're going out together again in Europe in June.
Nice. Are you in the?
All right. So here we go. I got the comments open. All right. I had it on private chat. I had to click on comments. Seriously, I'm learning technology. All right. So Dylan Dragontail. What's up, Dylan? I saw you guys added my hometown heroes Ghidorah to the lineup. They're sick. Yep. They just got added. And we got some more locals and regionals getting added. Mostly bands that we're trying to give a push, you know, like trying to spotlight. There's not going to be like more headliners or mid-tier bands, mostly locals and regionals. So
But that's still exciting.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so, because you got people that will see a band for the first time and go, "Oh, that's my new favorite band." That's the beauty of music and the world we're in right now. It's like your favorite band, your favorite album, your favorite song is out there, or could be out there, and you don't even know it yet.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about festivals, being able to jump back and forth between like, oh, it just sounds cool, so I'll check it out. I've discovered so many bands that way. Last year you had, who was that party band?
Oh, Belushi Speedball. They ripped
it. Dude, that was amazing.
Yeah, so after that we went and played RPM Fest. I did a Jasta set up in Massachusetts at RPM Fest, and they played too, and they ripped it there too. And Deceased played there, and I was like, oh, I was watching Deceased. I'm like, oh, I gotta get these guys at Milwaukee Metalfest, because nice. I had always back in the day, I had always seen them on flyers and stuff, but for whatever reason, they never, like, they weren't on the death metal tours that I would go to. Like, if I would, like, I went to Gods of Grind in 92 and 93, I think. And it was like Brutal Truth, Cathedral, Carcass, Napalm Death. Or I went to Morbid Angel, Suffocation, Crowbar on one tour. Or I went to like Flotsam and Prong on another tour. But for whatever reason, I never saw Deceased back in the day. They just never came through, or I didn't book them, or I didn't see them on other tours. And so when I saw them at RPM, I'm like, book them right now. Let's get them. So they're on the Sunday as well.
Nice.
But Belushi, honestly, the fans really rallied behind Belushi to get him on, because they were brought to my attention from fans just blowing my shit up.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know who they were at all. I just thought the name was funny. I don't even remember why. I just decided like check in to see how it is, and immediately was like, oh my god, I'm watching this. This is awesome. Especially, I think they played right after Municipal Waste, so it was 2 shows of just garbage cans flying all over the place.
Yes, toilet paper, and
yeah.
They gave me a piece of pizza that's like inside epoxy. I have it somewhere. But it actually plays, like the pizza plays a song, like, you know, those like cards, those birthday cards that you open up and say happy birthday. It's pizza, and it's their song about pizza.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Nice. What's about the lineup? I was commenting earlier, I have a band on the lineup called Jarhead Fertilizer, and that name just made me laugh. It's bringing back the fun names.
Yeah, I think that's a dystopia song title. So I think they're kind of in that vein. You know, I don't know what the kids call it these days, if they still call it doom or sludge or crust or yeah, I don't even, is it punk metal? I don't know, but that was another one that I heard them, and it was a no-brainer, especially with Full of Hell and Acacia Strain and other bands like that on that day. I'm hoping people I'm hoping people still have the energy on the Sunday. Last year, they really brought the energy hard on the Sunday. So, and I think starting, we have early entry for anybody who does the VIP meet and greets, and we have a lot of them. You can just upgrade if you already have your tickets. You can go to martyrstore.net. Like, you could buy a hat and you get a free meet and greet, or buy a shirt or whatever. And those people get early entry. And then I think we start the bands at 1 or 2. So it's not like they're starting at 11 like we used to do.
Yeah.
Like, even I was joking around with Keith from Every Time I Die. Shout out to Keith. I was joking around like, dude, I remember seeing Every Time I Die. I literally think they played at 9:30 in the morning one time.
That's one thing that I like about Milwaukee, is that bands starting at like 2 or so. That's a great time for people to still feel like the day's starting early and you get a lot, but you're not rushing to be there. I remember seeing Sabaton at like 10 a.m. at some festival one time.
Yes.
And shit like that.
Yeah, in Europe, that's the worst, especially when you had a long drive and you get into the festival and you park the bus and you're right by the stage, and 9 a.m. they're sound checking, or the 10 a.m. literally.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, one time we were parked in Germany, and it was, I'm not kidding, it was like 10:30 in the morning, and I just heard boo, 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 and I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? And I was mad. I wanted to go out there and be like, yo, turn this shit on. But I'm like, wait, I can't do that. We're at a festival. The doors are open. And the crowd was going berserk in the little tent. And I went over and I watched like the last 2 songs of the band. And then I started talking to them. I was like, they were like, yo, what's up, dude? And I was like, yo, what band? They're like, I was like, what band are you guys? Like, this shit ripped. And they're like, we're called Of Mice and Men. This is like literally like 13 years ago. It was when the old singer was in the band, and they had like people out there at 10:30 in the morning going crazy. I was like, yo, respect. I was like, damn, you guys really brought it. I was like, why are you opening? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, really. How's
here's a comment. Tone C says, I survived Hatebreed at Harpo's. Great show. Listen, I think we should go back to Harpo's. I really do. I know people are kind of torn about venues. We played the Royal Oak Music Hall. It was a sick show, and we had a blast. But we had a lot of people complaining, saying you should go back to Harpo's because it's legendary. You shot the DVD there. So I just told our booking agent, I know we already played Detroit or Detroit area on the last tour, but if we book this tour for July, fuck it. Let's go to Harpo's.
Is that something that is a bit of a struggle in terms of like the profile of your band, but if you want to play like certain clubs that what do you have to like label a special show or talk your crew into?
Look, you tell the road crew they're going to Harpo's, they're not stoked. They're scared for their life. You got to have security. When we were there with Damage Plan, their sound guy got robbed. I think he got blackjacked over the head. Yeah. But it's been so long. It's almost like you got to tell everybody, look, suck it up. It's one last hurrah. It's got new owners. Supposedly I don't know if it has a new PA or I don't even know if it has air conditioning. So it might be like, don't go there in July, bro. Everybody's asking about 40th anniversary of Bonded by Blood. Yeah. I mean, look, I loved all 3 singers of Exodus, and I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater of re-records. And so, anybody who said, oh, that's sacrilege that they would re-record Bonded by Blood, but Rob is great and Rob sounds great and Rob does the Bonded by Blood material justice. And this is coming from someone I booked. Like, I don't know if you can see up there, Lesson in Violence. Oh wait, no, I have my background on. I have a Lesson in Violence poster up here. I booked Exodus on that tour, like 3 different shows. Yeah. I mean, there was like 50 people at one of them for Bailoff. So, and then they took a hiatus, or they went away for a minute after that. And rest in peace, Paul Bailoff. When I booked those shows, I was like, damn, is thrash dead? But it was the mid 90s. So it was like, it was just a valley. That's life. Yeah. Peaks and valleys. And so now you're going to see 3,000-4,000 people Saturday night with Dukes fucking circle pinning, going crazy for Bonded by Blood. And it just goes to show, like, never give up. I mean, look at what's happening with Acid Bath. Like, so just,
oh yeah, man.
Anybody in a band, you could break up right now and you could come back 30 years from now and make the most money you've ever made in your career and play to the most amount of people and play with the biggest bands in the world. So
yeah, and have to relearn those songs. That was the crazy announcement. I don't think anyone saw that coming, at least on the like fan side of it.
Yeah, well, I fucked up and had Sammy on the podcast and talked about it, and then didn't, and then everybody booked it. So I was like, oh, I'm not saying any more ideas in public anymore.
You're like, oh, I want to try to book this band, and then suddenly that band's filled up for like 2 years.
And it's actually kind of flattering that people compare a 4,000 to 5,000 cap festival to 80 to 100,000 cap multi-million-dollar corporate festivals. I don't like people. Some guy wrote me this morning, you should have booked Slayer. I'm like, bro, they're playing 80,000 cap. Like, you're talking now 20 times, 30 times the size of the. Why would they come do this? But if that's the perception, then that's good, right? Like that, if people really think we're we're like that. We got it like that, then that's a good sign.
Yeah, people don't. I'm sure booking Slayer is probably like 4 times as much as probably the entire lineup, or pretty
Oh,
close
without
to
a
that.
doubt. And they deserve every bit of it.
Yeah,
and why? And it would be selfish for me. Like, why should I try to get Slayer to play for 4,000 or 5,000 people when they can go play for 80,000?
Right.
Like,
as cool as that would be.
Yeah, and actually, we're doing 2 of the shows. One of them I think is 55,000. The smaller one is 55,000. I think the London one is 70,000.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
see, that's gonna be crazy.
It's us, Amon Amarth, Anthrax, Slayer. I mean, like, it's a dream come true for us.
Yeah,
and
that's a crazy
so
good lineup.
It's cool that people will say, like, yeah, book Pantera, book Slayer, book Iron Maiden. I can't tell you how many people told us, like, you got to book Iron Maiden. I'm like, bro, they play stadiums, they play arenas. Like, we're a club, a ballroom, and a bar.
Yeah. it's the same. I'm sure you might get people being like, you should book Rammstein. Like, that is impossible. But
you know what's interesting though? I bet you if we charged a $500 ticket, like, they would do it. Like, I bet you if we could, if it made sense to, it would have to be like a $400 or $500 ticket, but then everybody would complain. But then the big corporate festivals, the big multi-million, they charge $500 a ticket.
Right. And then they can book bands like Slayer and Pantera back to back and everything. So
Right.
You're stuck between, guys, you should book Slayer, and then like, oh, you sold out.
But I think we're kind of in the sweet spot, right? Like, we've done, I think we did 85, and then it goes up to 99 at some point. So I feel like that's reasonable.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's a great size, and all festivals take time to grow really, really large. But especially with Milwaukee already has the background of how the festival was in the past, already had the legendary status, and then you coming in with all these killer lineups and everything. It's a festival I'm genuinely excited to see grow and have be out there. I was commenting on the it's a very affordable festival. I think it was the first time in years I saw a $25 t-shirt at a concert.
Yeah. No, I know. And even that, you know, we've talked about at great lengths, like, how we can make it more artist friendly, but also make it profitable. And we'll figure it out. We're getting there. We have a great team, like Sound Talent, the Rave, everybody at the Rave Eagles, Leslie and Joe and Gabby and Amanda and Jeff and Tommy. And I mean, we're really lucky to have such passionate, talented people. And they care about the bands and they care about the music, which is good. Sometimes, you know, you'll do some of these festivals where the people are not really necessarily knowledgeable of the bands or knowledgeable of the music. And because we're combining subgenres, we have at least 1 or 2 people who are knowledgeable of each subgenre. And, you know, we got legends on here. I mean, we literally have like Death Angel and Exodus.
Yeah.
And Devin Townsend, who's one of the most like talented, incredible artists out there, just paving his own wild, wacky path.
Yeah, you can't even like describe his genre anymore. It's like, it's Devin Townsend. It's fantastic. But
yeah, and it's incredible because I love to see it because I was there. I did the Strapping Young Lad year when they were on Ozfest, and Gene. I'm still trying to figure out a way to get Gene Hoglan there because he was there both years back, and he's such a big part of the original festival. So I might have to just fly Gene out to hang out, maybe jump up, and maybe we could do a Dark Angel song during the S.O.D set or during the Jasta and Friends set at the pre-party. But yeah, I got to figure out a way to get Gene there. So here we go. So go to dpop.com/Jasta and I'm selling literally everything I own to book this band from Europe for 2026. But then I'll also take out like $1,000 and pay for Gene to, you know, get a nice flight and get a hotel room. And
there you go.
Yeah. So let's like fan fund Gene Hoglan coming out. Cause literally like I'm going to run up, like I've already run up every credit card I can run up.
Yeah. It's the strains of putting on a festival, but I appreciate you doing that and taking on this effort to keep the scene going. You're very about the overall scene itself, not just about like how can I make the most of this festival by any means or whatever.
Well,
I really respect that.
Thank you. I owed it to Trevor. Once that podcast came out, and rest in peace, Trevor, he was supposed to be doing all this. He was supposed to be, I was just going to front the money. He was supposed to curate it. So it's funny because I would go look at pictures of him online and just look at the shirts that he was wearing and be like, all right, I got to book this for Trevor. So, and year one, I wasn't able to get Autopsy. That was his number one that he wanted to book, but I was able to get them for year two. And I was really happy because Chris and the Autopsy gang, they're OG underground legends. And, I'm so used to like that Ozfest, Mayhem Fest, Danny Wimmer Fest type of world that it was nice for me to be reminded that bands like Autopsy, Autopsy doesn't do those fests.
Yeah.
So we really had to change, we had to cater to them and listen to their wishes and what they normally do. And I get it because they have a legacy and they're legends and they're purveyors of that old school death metal sound. And they're part of that old guard. And we want to make sure that we're respectful to that. And it was absolutely worth it when I was up in the balcony watching them fucking lay waste to that room. Similar to how, Obituary had done previously. There's other promoters that probably wouldn't have agreed to their wishes. Like maybe would have said, no, this band has, is bigger, has sold more records, has more social media followers. But, we were like, yeah, no, let's give Autopsy what they want and make it happen. And I'm happy that we did.
Yeah. And they may not be on top of the metal charts at the moment, but they have that underground fan base that will travel to go see them and everything. And
for sure. And it was cool to see because that's kind of what Hell's Heroes has proved, right? Is like you can get those types of bands that maybe won't be high up on the bill on, say, like a Wimmer Fest or on an Ozfest or a Mayhem, but you can put them as wherever you want them because it's an indie DIY, really coming from someone who's really knowledgeable and really passionate about all those different, whether it's the classic metal bands or the black metal bands or the grindcore, we have a little bit of that too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now someone's here in the chat. Ellie Not So Smelly says Trevor from Black Dahlia Murder. Yeah. That's basically how the fest came back. I said to Trevor on a podcast, let's bring back Milwaukee Metalfest. I'll buy the rights. I'll talk to Jack and I'll buy the rights. I'll buy whatever assets there are. And Jack was the one, he owned metalfest.com. So I got that in the buyout. And, he's owned that since like 88, so he was before Ozfest. Milwaukee Metalfest was the genesis of this whole thing. So I was pressured into it from the fans because once Trevor passed away, they were like, now you have to do it. And I'm glad I was pressured into it. But yeah, it's been 3 years of having no life and no money.
Damn. The struggle is real, but awesome.
But just seeing everybody's faces and just seeing just like I said, going through the crowd and people thanking me for bringing it back, it's well worth it. And I was one of those kids that grew up. It was like a goal for us to play it. We played it in '98 with Mayhem, and we were like, we couldn't believe that we were there. We played it with Merciful Fate.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't around at that time, but I've seen some of the old flyers, and it was like, damn, I didn't even know that was in the U.S. at the time.
It was, I mean, dude, I was just talking to a buddy of mine about the Deicide set when El Duce from the Mentors was like gonna try to go up and kind of mock Deicide, like, oh, scary, satanic, whatever. And as he was walking up, like Steve saw him and knew he was going to pull some shit and just kicked him right in the chest. And he just went flying back. And like, there was always something happening like that at the Old Fest. Just, you know, they had wrestlers, they had porn stars. We're going to make a documentary. I'm hopefully going to be working on the documentary with Jeremy from Broken Hope. He's like the only one I want to do it because he's knowledgeable. He's a big part of the Old Fest. He knows all the old heads, and he's got so many stories from the original fest. So, but once you see the characters and the shit that went down at the Old Fest, depending on if we can get the rights to the footage, people are going to fall in love with all these characters from the festival. Like that in itself is worth all the headaches of the last 3 years. Cause I really think this is a documentary that could probably go on Netflix or Amazon Prime if it's done right. And we've already filmed a bunch of stuff for it.
Nice. That was always when I was getting into metal, watching like behind the scenes of Ozfest or like bands on tour. That always left a really big impression on, I think, as a youth growing up. But like you see a different side to these musicians that, like you're saying, it's just really entertaining. Where I get quite a few viewers on my channel who say they're not even really that into metal, but they like my videos for the presentation and entertainment. It's that same type of thing. Like it could work on Netflix because people just want to see how batshit everybody is.
Yeah, and I really think it could reignite the careers of some of the older bands. I really think just kind of similar to how the Anvil documentary resurrected their career, because you saw the work, you saw the behind the scenes, you saw the passion in the music and these likable guys. And you realize that the reason why we don't hear so much about projects or bands or art that isn't pushed by the corporate side of things is because they have their contracts with their artists, and those artists are the ones that they need to push. So it's not always a meritocracy. It's not always the best or coolest or most fun group or artist gets pushed. And that's what's so great about the internet and about documentaries and about books, because, you know, and Acid Bath is a great example. Like if it's good and it's got staying power and it's timeless, someone's eventually going to find it, and someone who has a platform is eventually going to platform it or amplify it. And then lives are changed, careers are changed. And I think that's what could be done with this Milwaukee Metalfest documentary, and also just show everybody just the drama. I mean, the drama from the Old Fests. Like I would be, I guess I think I would be surprised if we had to like really edit it, because there's bands like there's a whole part I wanted to put this band Anal Blast in, because Don Decker, rest in peace, Don Decker, he was part of the Old Fest. And there's stories about him that we filmed with people that I was like, oh, I don't know if a streamer will let us tell these stories. And the band is called Anal Blast. So it's like, you know,
it's going to be pretty brutal.
Right. So, but like Joey from Slipknot and Paul from Slipknot, like they were fans, like they ended up jamming with them. Like there's all these connections and all these just relationships and friendships and bands and tours and things that would come together at Milwaukee Metalfest.
Yeah. That's what, I mean, like I said, I wasn't there for that time, but for this new iteration, you can tell that it's all mostly groups of people that are either familiar with each other or friends, and you can see special things happen, some guest appearances. It's different than other festivals where they're booking whoever's popular or whoever is, you know, big at the moment. That's what I really like about that. I think it's like Milwaukee and Hell's Heroes and Maryland Death Fest kind of fit with that underground, still going to vinyl shops and looking through all the records and everything type of crowd.
Yeah, and someone's favorite band might be viewed as like a smaller band in the mainstream's eyes, right? Like I remember when we announced Testament, and we did one of these like promoted Facebook posts. And I remember seeing like people hating on Testament and saying like, they wouldn't even be in the big 8 if there was a big 8 or whatever. And I'm like, are these people retarded? Like, what's going on here? And then, like you said, they end up having one of the biggest reactions of the festival and one of the biggest crowds. And so then I'm like, yeah, see, this is why you have to support the OGs. And they might be viewed as like, okay, so they never got to like the level of Metallica. It doesn't fucking take away the impact that they have and the bangers. I mean, banger after banger, DNR. I was like, oh my, the songs are so good.
Yeah, their set was especially good. I remember that one really standing out.
Yeah. But we need vehicles to prove these people wrong, right? Like because perception is not always reality.
Absolutely. Fittingly with that, it's a very good timing for you to have Pentagram on the lineup with them going viral with that fucking image.
Yeah, you know what's so funny is as soon as that went viral, everybody wanted their meet and greet. I think their meet and greets are probably gone by now. And shout out to Bobby and the boys. They have a great new album out too, so it's good timing. And it's a good day for them to play because you got Down on there. And if you're getting a 2-day ticket, we got I Hate God on the Saturday. So if you're into the doom and the sludge and the down tuned, but we got to make sure that we keep Bobby. Like, we don't need another Jeff possessed situation, right? Like, we got to look out for Bobby. Plus, Bobby's probably got what, 10, 20 years on Jeff?
Yeah, you have to be careful, I guess, watching him. At least Bobby went viral for a more comedic reason.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, because now possessed, right? They're right? There were some problems. It was problematic, right?
Yeah, they were just announced for the Exodus tour, and then the next day we're like, oh, never mind. We got
allegedly.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, they're not on the Exodus tour now?
No, I think within a day or two they got announced, and then all of the comments were just pictures of Diddy, and then the day after they were replaced with Havoc just now.
No, really?
Yeah, that just happened.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
I felt bad for Gary's awesome and everything. When I saw Possessor on there, I was like, oh shit. And I look at the comments, it's just Diddy gifs from everybody.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so but is it real? Is the internet real? Like, is Possessed really canceled, or are we gonna go see like videos of Possessed out there killing it and playing to thousands of people a night?
I don't know, because with the Possessed one, he admitted to talking to the person, but I don't think there was any I don't think it was as bad as it could have been, but he admitted to.
Was it an Ellefson type situation? No, sorry, Dave. But what was it? Like,
it's I think so. He was texting with some 16-year-old who.
Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah, no, it was going in directions that it definitely should not have gone in.
And he knew she was 16?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
And then because like you were saying, there's difference between internet and what actually happens. So when I first heard it, I did think like, I don't know, that sounds a little weird. But then he made some post about it saying that he was talking to this person that shouldn't have and everything.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, the internet has been calling him Diddy on wheels.
Oh Jesus. All right.
Sorry about
So Havoc, so now it's Exodus Havoc?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that'll be sweet.
Listen,
though.
I'm broke. So listen, if I gotta add Havoc, what else can I sell here to get Havoc? Because they ripped it. They ripped it. Like, they closed the bar stage and it was insanity. It was legendary.
Yeah, that bar stage is when there's a band in there that's packed. Like, you couldn't even get in there sometimes. That's crazy.
Damn, now I gotta try and get Havoc. I gotta like donate a kidney.
Start donating body parts to
blood or something. I mean, because now people are gonna go, oh, Havoc's on the Exodus tour and Exodus is playing and Havoc has the night off. Shit.
Be like, fuck.
And
Are
then
those things that come into consideration?
it's so hard, man. It's really hard, especially because we're married to the schedule at this point. Like, what do? You don't want to have.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. The Diddy on Wheels comment went too far. They took him offline. Shit. Dun dun dun. Start getting into juicy drama, and then all of a sudden it just cut off. Well, hopefully he'll be back in a second. Let's see. Ellie Not So Smelly. Misfire on the Exodus tour too. That was my joke when Possess got added, that it was a misfire. Didn't. Um, wonder if he like broke his cameras because he's still here. That's weird. It usually would just like drop completely. I'm gonna be disturbed if it pops back up and it's Jeff from Possessed. Up, and now it's just me. He was dishing up too much dirt on the scene, on crazy people. They had to take him out. I apologize for the death metal Diddy joke. I went too far in that one. Exodus and Havoc toured last fall. I saw them in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah. Is Carcass still touring? You mean in general? Yes. At the very moment, I'm not sure. We were on here for a while. We'll see if he does come back or not. If not, that's fine. We're already on here longer than I expected, so that's cool. I hope you guys have been enjoying this interview. Some of the fun dishing on old bands and behind the scenes stuff. StreamYard sucks, says Andy Ford. I guess. It's what I usually stream on. I don't usually have an issue. Yeah. I didn't get to beg him to put Dark Insanity on the bill yet. Damn it. Hey, congrats on the 60K subs, Wyatt. You are past the halfway point to 100K. Thank you. I appreciate that. Doing my best. If everyone wants to help out, remember to like the stream. Like the videos. It helps out. It's not just pandering. Well, it is, but... hang up and call Jay. It doesn't work like that. It works with... if you have a link you click on, then you can come back. So he'd be able to jump back in if it's working. This has been a lot of fun. Maybe, oh, I do have an email, actually. Well... there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to the Milwaukee Metalfest page. I hope you all enjoyed my shilling. Check out Milwaukee Metalfest. I do recommend it. It is great for veterans of the scene, new people of the scene. I was actually going to comment to him that lots of kids and like metal families, not like normal kids, but kids with like denim vests and, you know, patches and shit were all over the venue. It's a good spot for that too. So, if you're old school veteran and you got a little metalhead in the making, check out Milwaukee Metalfest. I've been there the last 2 years. I got videos on it if you'd like to check it out. you should go buy tickets. Tell them the savior of metal sent you. 10% off multi-day tickets. There you go. Help fund the big mysterious band that Jasta wants to bring the next time. I don't remember. Well, we'll find out who it is. I don't remember because I didn't say it. Sometimes you start talking and don't think about what you're saying. Yeah. Help support Milwaukee Metalfest. It is a great time, great festival by real awesome people. And you will be helping a mysterious band. He's back!
Dude,
He's returned.
I think a tree just hit my house or something. We're having crazy windstorms over here. Like the power just went out, the lights just went back on.
Oh shit, really? You all right?
Yeah, no, I heard the cat going crazy and then I heard a big thud. It's just the wind is out of control over here.
God damn. Well, if you have to take off, no problem at all. You gotta lock down your shit.
Yeah, this is a new cat, Stanley. He just showed up out of nowhere. So he's all freaked out. But thanks for having me on, brother. And yeah, feel free to come out. We'll make sure we take care of you. And anybody, that wants to go get tickets, therave.com/metalfest, or just go to metalfest.com. And if you want meet and greets or merch or anything, go to martyrstore.net. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, man. Best of luck with your cat and the whole storm you're going through right now.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll post pictures. It's this cat is ridiculous. He's got a whole this is like the third one that showed up in the neighborhood. So, and my daughter is an animal lover, so how can I say no?
So on top of festivals and concerts, you're rescuing cats too.
Well, I didn't know this until I started telling my Patreon. Like, I don't post it on the regular feeds. It's only for the Patreon crew, but I didn't know like how much people loved cats. I was never a cat person, but now I can see, because I don't know, they're like mystical, magical fucking being. It's crazy.
They really are.
But thanks,
All right.
Ryan. Always good to see you, man. And thanks for supporting the festival and everything we do. We appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely, man. You're welcome on anytime, and I hope to see you at the festival, dude.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and shout out to everybody who tuned in. I appreciate them, hearing what I got to say.
Yeah, and I was just plugging the website. Go buy the tickets, and that'll be it. Now we'll leave it to Norm to.
Now, this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone involved in this story should die.